Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the spring campaign for Arkham Horror, the card game. Advance apologies on having the air conditioner running, it's pretty warm outside, but anyway. Sunday when we ventured to the Miskatonic Museum, we picked up 3 experience and destroyed the Necronomicon, the Olas Warmius version. I wish we could have destroyed Daisy's version, the John Dee translation, but alas, this campaign wouldn't be interesting without a weakness in the deck to try to plan around. More importantly, though, we didn't pick up any more trauma in the scenario. Remember the tarot reading going into this scenario. 1 trauma would have forced us to take a second. Since we dodged that, we can worry about moving forward. As usual, in this video, we'll upgrade the decks and then we'll go through the tarot reading for the next scenario. As the lead investigator from the last scenario, we'll start the upgrades with Stella. Hello, Stella. We're going to swap out your last single-handed combat option and give you an agility-based combat option as we swap your other 18 Derringer level 0 for an Ornate Bow. We've looked at the bow before, but for the benefit of anyone seeing it for the very first time, let's go ahead and take a quick look. So the Ornate Bow is a 4 cost to play, 3 experience to add to the deck, as you can see. Combat and agility on commit. Uses 1 ammo and limit 1 ammo on Ornate Bow. As an action, we spend 1 ammo to fight. Using agility instead of combat, and you get +2 agility and deal +2 damage for the attack. As an action, you knock another arrow, place 1 ammo on Ornate Bow. So with a stat line of 4, Stella will be firing the bow with a base of 6, and she'll be using... where was I going with that thought? Oh yeah, she'll be dealing base 3 damage with that, plus her fail action should go off, hopefully often enough to keep her in actions to be able to keep the bow knocked. But anyway, we'll go ahead and shuffle this into her deck. Then we'll give that a cut. So nice and easy for Stella in the upgrades department. Now let's go visit Daisy. Hello, Daisy. This is where my plan with Charisma pays off, and I get to upgrade it to a Miskatonic Archaeology funding. Because we're going from a level 3 to a level 4, it will only cost me 1 experience. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. We did look at it last week as I laid out the plan to upgrade Charisma. Now we get to the card I really wanted. So let's take a look and refresh our memories on Miskatonic Archaeology funding. It's a 4 experience cost normally, but because I'm upgrading to it from Charisma, which Charisma is in itself a level 3 card, this upgrade only costs me 1 experience. So permanent, limit 1 per deck. You have 2 additional ally slots, which can only be used to hold Miskatonic assets, which is very helpful because all of my allies are Miskatonic. Forced, when you take damage or horror, no more than 1 of that damage or horror can be assigned to a Miskatonic asset. So it's actually a little bit risky because if we have damage, we can only assign, if we have a lot of damage coming in, we can only assign, well, we'd only be able to assign 1 of it to most of those allies anyway, because most of those allies only have 1 health, but I digress. As for the other 2 experience, we get to upgrade her other deduction to level 2. Now, we've made this upgrade countless times on the channel, but we'll go ahead and take a quick look at deduction level 2 for the benefit of anybody brand new to a deduction level 2. So once again, it's a 2 experience to add to the deck. The upgrade is you get an extra lore on commit, and you can discover 2 additional clues instead if you succeed by 2 or more. Whereas a regular deduction would only let you discover 1 additional clue, regardless of how many you succeed by. So we'll go ahead and get that shuffled into Daisy's deck. We'll put all of these down over here. Give that a quick shuffle. And as usual, I'll upgrade all of the deck lists. I'll upgrade both the deck lists and get the new links into the description down below. But anyway, once I finish shuffling this up, And to cut, and that will do it for investigator upgrades. Now let's move back up top, and we'll have the tarot reading for the scenario. We're back up top, so let's jump right into the tarot reading. We've got the tarot deck right here. Give this a shuffle. And to cut, and those will be our 2 tarot cards for the next scenario. So first card up we find is the Tower 16. Each investigator chooses 1 basic weakness in their deck and removes it from the game. Return them after the game ends. That's on the good side. Or if we flip it to the bad side, we add a random basic weakness to each investigator's deck, remove them after the game ends. Our second card, the Hermit 9. Increase each investigator's maximum hand size by 3 on the good side, or the bad, decrease each investigator's maximum hand size by 3. Oh, this is bad. So basically we either end up with removing a weakness but a hand size of 2, or a hand size of 8 and an additional basic weakness. Well, given the way especially Daisy is drawing cards, I think we're going to flip the Tower 16 and we're going to add a basic weakness to each of the investigators' decks. So I'm going to do this off camera, but the way I do this, actually, I wonder if I could splice in some footage of this. But what I'm going to do, I'll try to splice in some footage. I'll try to capture via a program called OBS. You might be familiar with me talking about it on the channel if you watched my Mortal Kombat mobile videos. But actually, let me see if I can pull up OBS here. I'll record a little something talking about that later. So I don't want... I'm going to step away. I'm going to turn this off for a little bit so I can set up OBS and capture the footage. I'll be right back. I apologize for the quality of the shot. Trying to shoot my monitor is not the easiest thing in the world, but I figured it would be easier to just shoot the actual generation of the weaknesses rather than try to capture the spreadsheet on OBS and then have to splice in footage later of me going through the weaknesses. So I think we're just going to capture it. But basically what I've done here is I've actually created a spreadsheet with the character weakness, with the basic weaknesses on it. So what I do is I can, and this middle section here, which is the relevant part, it's basically just a 3-column sequence. It's basically just a 3-field sequence. So the first field is a random number generator between 1 and 47, as you can see in... Well, you probably can't see it in the formula bar. Actually, you might be able to just at the top of the shot, but that's what that is. So I've gone through and I've assigned each basic weakness a unique identifier in this spreadsheet, because then I use that random number generator in the second tab, or in the second formula, to do a VLOOKUP based on that identifier. Then it spits back the actual name of the weakness based on that VLOOKUP, and then the third column. The third one is actually another VLOOKUP based on the weakness name. I could probably do it on the identifier, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. So just to spit me back the type. The reason I do that is because there are several weaknesses, there are several cards in this game, or several effects in this game, I should say, that force you to search for a certain type of weakness. What I've seen the most are usually madness weaknesses. I've usually seen omens. I don't think I've seen curses, but basically that's what that is. So if I need a specific weakness, I hit the generate formula until I get a weakness that I need, and then I use that then I take that type of weakness. But anyway, So, a little bit of rambling aside on how the spreadsheet works. It's very simple. It's very simple, as you can probably see. But anyway, we're going to use this to determine what weaknesses we're adding to each of our ladies' decks. So I'll zoom in a little bit so we can read that. And then we'll start with Stella. I'll go up to, where is it? Oh, here we go, formulas. Okay, so Stella now also has an arm injury. So I can go ahead and grab that. Oh, this could be I'm looking at this card, but this could be a big problem for Stella. But anyway, so we'll take a quick look at arm injury. So Revelation, put arm injury into play in your threat area. Arm injury can be healed as if it were a single point of damage on you. If it's healed, discarded. Forced, after you take a fight or activate action, you can't take any of those types of actions for the remainder of the turn. Oh, fantastic. So, yeah, if we're in a situation where we need to do a lot of fighting and arm injury comes up, Stella's going to have a big problem with that, but there's really no help for that now. I mean, I could flip the Hermit 9 back, but having a hand size of only 2 cards does not sound like an appealing idea either. Not that adding an extra weakness is ideal either, but we'll just have to deal with that as best we can. But anyway, Daisy now has Amnesia. I think that's a basic core set weakness. Yeah, here we go. Amnesia. Oh dear. This one could also be problematic for how much Daisy draws through her deck. So Amnesia, Revelation, choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand. Yikes. That would have real serious potential to just rip Daisy's hand completely apart. But nothing we can do there now. But anyway, let's move back essentially up top, and we'll wrap this video up. So yeah, that's our tarot reading for the scenario. Probably could have dealt with having a hand size of 2, but I don't really like having that few options in my hand every given turn, and having to discard between 2 and 6 cards does not sound ideal every turn. But anyway, that will do it for this upgrades video. I'll get the deck lists upgraded and the new links up in the description down below. Sunday, we're going to jump on the train to Dunwich via the Essex County Express. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.